Simon Manus boss fight in Lies of P is a surprisingly simple boss fight which you've been in there a couple of times, especially if you're going to bring along the Spectre. Now the first phase is very simple again, especially with the pre-mentioned Spectre we just spoke about. He has two main kind of styles of attack. The first one is his big sweeping attacks. Sometimes this can go on as like a longish combo, but usually he only does 2 to 3 swings. They're easy to read, you can dodge through them, and they are fairly easy to parry if you get the timing down. But I feel like, generally speaking, in this first phase, you're going to want to stay on the attack. Being as we have the Spectre with us, we want to make the most of that Spectre being there, so make sure, if you're trying to make this easy for yourself, go ahead and do all of the charge attacks, take his health down as quickly as you can. Just because if you are struggling with this fight, you're definitely going to want to have the Spectre be available in the second phase. Realistically though, it should not be that much of an issue to reach the second phase with the Spectre alive. Obviously, to make this easier, you can upgrade your Wishstone box so that you can have 2 heals for the Spectre. This is pretty handy whilst you're using this, but bear in mind that my advice would be to respec your P organ once this fight is over. Obviously, the next guide is going to be for the Nameless Puppet, which is forced us to be solo, and that is a way tougher fight than this one, but I do have some tips for you guys on that one if you want to watch it in the next episode. Initially, the second phase doesn't feel terribly different. Obviously, Manus here is going to grow a questionable appendage. That head looks like the head of something else to me. In any case, he has like a sweeping energy hand, and it doesn't really do too much. It does throw out projectiles. But I find them fairly easy to avoid most of the time. Usually you can just run out of the way. The biggest issue here is the giant hand of God that lands, and the main issue with it is that it's slow, and it's difficult to see it when you are targeting the boss. In my video, you will see it targeting the Spectre here, and you'll see the absolutely huge AoE that it has. This is really annoying because if you don't see it coming down, it's very likely this is going to land on you, and you basically need to be on the opposite side of the arena from it. If it lands in the middle, good luck, you really need to get to like the edges when you see it coming down. So mostly, in my recommendation for the second phase is avoid most of its attacks, obviously. Learn its attack pattern a little bit, but it is similar to the first phase. Run to the other side of the arena when the big hand of God is coming down. And if your Spectre starts getting low on health, burn through some of those consumables, because trying to manage the boss and the hand of God at the same time is a real pain in the ass. So once the Spectre's down, go ahead, burn through 10 or something throwables. Really shouldn't take much for me. He was already down to half health at this point, so it really should not be that much of an issue. Stick with these tips and you should have no problem in defeating Simon Manus in Lies of P.